hit the recording button. So the recording has started now. Thank you for the permission too. Okay, so today, like I said, our focus will be on Google Sheets. We just want to build a beginner-friendly, we want to have a beginner-friendly session, not a very, not the techie kind of session, just very beginner-friendly. And from there, you will be able to build on whatever we're going to do tonight. So that is just what we have to do together. So let's move forward as fast as possible. So the agenda today is we'll talk about why automation matters. Of course, time-saving strategies for schools. Actually, my focus is on the teacher because I know not every school have provided or have the tool available for teachers to automate their work. But you as a person, you can build it for yourself. Even if your school is not using it, you can build it for yourself such that while every other person is stressing, while the school is stressing, you won't be stressing, your work will be easier. But if your school has incorporated this tool into the system, then good for you. It's okay for you to know how to manipulate it more and more so that you will be very adept in using the tool. So we'll also look at data setup, look at best practices, how to clean input and prevent error. Then we'll look at high impact formulas. So today we just want to look at few formula. We'll look at if, count if, average sum and sum, average and sum. We'll look at that. Then we'll also look at attendance summation. Then we can see how we can count the attendance, and we can see how we can flag and update immediately. Then we'll also look at gradebook automation. Then we'll look at sharing and permission for our Google tools. Then I will strongly recommend that you use your laptop for this session. I strongly recommend that you use your laptop for this session. However, if you don't have the laptop for this session, that will not be a problem. Since the session is already recorded, we'll share it. They can practice with it after on. But please, as a teacher, if you don't have a laptop, that should be your priority now. And not just any other laptop, a very good laptop that you should be able to use to do your work seamlessly and to teach online. A lot of teachers don't go for home lessons anymore. They all teach, let me not say they all, most of them teach online, myself included, and it saves a whole lot of cost. Not even now that fuel price is skyrocketing, that if you want to drive to anybody's house now, you have to spend up to 15,000 naira. So it's okay to have this tool handy so that you can be able to enjoy your workflow. So let's start quickly. The learning outcome. So at the end of today, we should be able to create a reusable sheet template, apply formula correctly, then we should be able to automate routine calculations. All the calculation we'll do every now and then, we shouldn't be doing it anymore. We should just enter this course and the calculation should be done for us. We should be able to generate quick insights and make decisions just by opening your laptop. Without thinking, you should be able to look at the surface of the laptop and say, this is where the problem is, this is where things are going fine, this is where things are not going fine, just by merely looking at your sheet. Then we should also be able to look at what? The grade attendance tracker. Should be able to make grade book and mini dashboard. Then, so let's start. First and foremost, what can we use Google Sheets for? Both and Excel. So spreadsheets generally can be used for so many things. You can use it for student result summaries. You can use it for behavior tracking. You can use it for homework and assignment tracking. You can use it for lesson observation records. You can use it for fee payment tracking, inventory management, timetable planning, parents communication logs, assessment analysis, staff duty rota, student admission application tracking, and so many things. So depending on how good and adept you are with this tool, you can just create templates for all these things. And when the time comes for you to use it, you just go and pick the template and start applying it. pick the template, start applying it. So that is the advantage of this tool. Some people they already have everything in place. So if they get to a school and they are trying to do some, maybe them taking maybe attendance, they say, hey, you must always have your attendance. Instead of carrying paper around, marking sheets, they have it on their system. They'll just open it, input the name of the student, and the attendance will start taking. If they bring their assessment template, they can use Google Sheets to recreate their own template that will fit into the assessment template of the school. Like me now, any school I find myself, wherever I find myself, once I get the assessment template, I build the automation for myself, and I'll just be entering my student results, and everything will be calculating by itself, all by itself. And that is what automation is of. Unfortunately, I understand, because some of us don't have access to this information or are not familiar with this tool. At times we'll begin to carry calculator, trying to convert. Oh, sorry about that, it's breaking. That could be a network challenge. So I hope it becomes smooth. Please confirm if it's clearer now, please. Just let me know if it's clearer now. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So what I'm trying to say now is, so with all this now, all you just need to do, you don't have to be calculating maybe a child score 50 over 70, and you want to convert it to over 40. You now be pressing calculator. No, you shouldn't be pressing calculator. Just enter the 50 and the system will calculate it for you to over 40, over 60, over 70, whatever value you want to calculate it to. And that's the power of Google Sheets. Very, very important. So that is where we are going to focus on for today. So let's start. Clean data. So if you have your system here, I'm going to share a link in the chat box. Just click on the link, open it, then you are going to make a copy for yourself, so that whatever I am doing, you'll be doing it with me, so that you will learn as hands-on, just directly. So, but before we go, let me quickly show us what automation looks like. So let's have it. I'm going to stop sharing, then reshare a different. Okay, let me present something else. I want to show us what automation looks like. Okay, this is what I want to show us now. So this is an attendance grading sheet before us. Please confirm if you can see something new that I'm sharing now. Can you see what I'm sharing newly? Okay, thank you very much. So these are attendance grading sheets. The names we have there, they are just hypothetical names. They are not names of real students. So as you can see, I have student ID. If you think you want to put it, you can put it, or you can remove it if you wish. Maybe it's for those of us who are in higher institution, they use matric number. They don't really use name. So you can use student ID as the matric number. You have the class, you have the gender. Then you have the different day the class is old. And from the different day the class is old, you will see that there's a drop-down menu that shows that present, absent, late. So if a child is present, you click present, it shows green. If a child is absent, you click absent, it shows red. If a child comes late, you click late, and it shows a light green. So if I populate all these things now, if I populate everything, okay, let me do it quickly. Let me make it fast and snappy. So if I populate everything like this, okay, present, I'll just do some few one. So if by chance, maybe this child is absent, and at a glance, I open this spreadsheet, I don't have to stress myself trying to see who is present, who is absent. Immediately, I'll be able to know that, oh, on the 26th of April, Bayo Adeyemi was not in my lesson. Then if that trend continues, maybe on the 27th, the same thing happened. On the 27th, the same thing happened. On the 28th, the same thing happened. Merely seeing the red, that's a danger alert. So as a teacher, I don't have to start thinking that, okay, looking for Bayo, which day did he come, which day did not come. Immediately, I already know that, oh, this person has been missing school. There is a problem. There is a problem. And there, you address the problem. There is a place where we put notes here. So you can write the notes. Okay, need to call the parent, or I need to send the parent an email. So just put the note there so that anytime you open it, you'll be able to track what you have done or what you need to do. So this is just simple one that you can do for yourself. You can continue to modify it or make it better. For example, I can decide to now do another calculation where I'll be able to get the percentage attendance for the term or the percentage attendance for the half term, because some school they'll tell you that you must have at least 95% attendance or 90% attendance. Now, instead of using calculator to do all these things, this Google Sheet can actually do it for you. That's a spreadsheet. Then this is the grade book. So you can see the grade book here now. So this grade book is showing us test 1, 20 marks. 20 marks. The assignment, 9 marks. Project, it's 20 marks. Exam, 30 marks. So, okay, please, if you cannot see my screen, I think it's network, but can any other person confirm that they can see my screen, please?
I can see your screen.
I see your screen.
Okay, thank you. So if you can't see the screen, most likely it's a network issue. So try and refresh or just log out and log in again. So thank you very much. So now you can see, so from here now, the total is supposed to be 100, then the percentage, the letter grade, and the remark. So if you see, for this bio DME, if I enter 20, I can enter 15, everything will be calculating 10, 17, then let's say 25. Then everything has been calculated. So let's say, let me look for a name. Let's say Ola Martins. Let's see what happens to Ola Martins. I can say Ola Martins is 10, 5, assignment 4, project 10. Ola Martins is not doing well. Exam 15. You can see the result 44, and that shows that it fails. You can see this, what is giving me. It's telling me that Ola Martins is at risk. Is at risk. Now, there's another thing we can do before we even get to this point to say that, before we get to the end of term where we will now be saying, oh, Ola Martins is at risk. From the first week, we can do color coding so that from the first week, we will be able to do what? We'll be able to know the status of Ola Martins by merely viewing the Excel sheet. For those of us who are school leaders, this is one way we can actually easily track all our students in the school. Yes, it's possible. When we build something like this, our staff, our teachers impute their scores. From merely opening the Excel sheet, the color coding will tell you the status of every student, and you'll be able to easily identify a child that is struggling, a child that is doing well, and a child that is average by using color coding. If time permits, we will also look into that tonight. But because of because of our current objective, let's not go into that yet. So I'm going to share a link in the chat, in the box now, so that everybody will make a copy of the data that we are going to use. Everybody should make a copy of the data that we are going to use for, okay? I'm sharing the link. I'm making us editor. So once you get it, what you need to do is, let me show. You can see my screen, right? Everybody can see my screen. So this is what we are going to do. Let it finish updating, please. So it's updating. So let me just, okay, very good, that's updated. So I'll copy the link. I'm dropping it in the chat box. I'm also going to drop it in the WhatsApp group for those of us who will be able to get it comfortably. So please, let's work with this data. I'm also dropping it in the WhatsApp group. Am I there? Okay, because of those who are just joining the WhatsApp group, let me reshare the link. Okay, good. So this is what you're going to do. You just come here, come to file and click make a copy. Once you open it, come to file and click make a copy. Make a copy. You can name it whatever you want to name it. I can call it training sample or training practice, whatever I want to call it. So let everybody try that now. Like I said, it's going to be hands-on. Can we all try that? If you have your system with you, try it now. Open the link. When it opens, go to file, then click make a copy it and name it whatever you can name it. Very good. I can see a lot of us are already there. Very good. A lot of us are already there. So let's try and do that. Let me give us 1 minute so that the first thing we're going to do it together. 1 minute, everybody open, make your copy, 1 minute. So once it's 7:56, we'll do the next step. As we continue, if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat box. Or you can raise up your hand to indicate if you have any question. Okay, I think that is 7:56 now. So the first thing we're going to look at, must have seen the data now. So the data we have before us is student ID, student's name, student class, then the gender. So what we want to do is we want to first create an attendance sheet. That's the first thing. So I'm going to name this sheet attendance. I'm going to name it attendance. So what I'm going to do now is this column after student ID, student name, student class, this column, I'll give it the date. So let's say today's date is 16/04/2026. So I'll press enter. Now do that too. So if you are following me, you should have put the dates now. So I've made a mistake there. Yes, it's correct. That's the date, not a mistake. Let's just put the date since we know it's attendance sheet. So the date will be there, 16/04. Now, one good thing about Google Sheets is that it has what we call IntelliSense. It can sense what you want to do. For example, this is 16/04. Assuming I am having the class every day, those of us that are math teacher and English teacher, assuming I'm having the class every day, instead of coming here to type another 17/04, no, what I need to do is just click inside this 16. You can see this dot here. Put your cursor on this dot, then drag it to the other side. So let me drag for 5 days. You can see it has given me 17, 18, 19, and 20. That's one of the automation we are talking about. So instead of me retyping all the dates, the tool, Google Sheets, has the sense. It has known that as I'm moving to the next space, it is doing what? It means I want to add more dates. So it has added the date through. So if you're able to do that, very good. A lot of people are using the same sheet I'm using. So please make your own copy. Make your own copy and don't use the sheets. Let me see those who are using the sheet I'm using. This is anonymous. Okay, this is giving me a different name. So it's giving me an anonymous name. So please, if you're on my Google Sheet, try and make your own sheet for yourself so that I can use the one that you're supposed to use. And close the one that I shared so you can use the one I've made for you. So you can see that it's able to sense that I want to add more date and it's able to add the date for me. So that is one. Then you can put maybe notes or whatever you want to put. Maybe you want to calculate attendance percentage, but because of this lesson, I don't want to do something complex. Let's just put notes. We don't have enough time. So I can just put notes there. So take notes. So now another thing I can do is this. I want this, this place to look different. because it's my table header. And I'm not converting this to table. I want this my table header to look different. So if I want my table header to look different, I can select it by coming here. You open one arrow now, and I've clicked the next arrow. Then I'm going to come here. I can choose a fill color. Let me use, somebody should suggest a color for us. Who is suggesting a color for us? A fill color that we can use so that the header will look different.
Color green.
We need, okay, thank you, sir. Color green. So let's use color green. Okay, let's use this green that is not too sharp. So I can leave it. Okay, let me use a lighter one so that we'll be able to see clearly. Good. So that is it. Then another thing I can do is I can make it bold. So I can come here and just bold in it. Bold. So it's bolder now. And if you can manipulate it, whatever whichever you want to manipulate, you can increase the font and so on and so forth. So I have chosen my date and I've added all the dates. Now the next thing is this. In my class, 3 things are possible. I can have present, I can have absent, I can have late. But some teacher can also have what we call exempted. Oh, sorry. If your network is bad, don't worry. It's recorded. Just keep trying. So I can, for some teachers, they can have late, present, absent, exempted. Some teacher can use the first letters like P for present, L for late, and A for absent, then E for exempted, depending on how you want it to be. But for the purpose of this lesson, I don't like stress. I like to do something very simple. So I'm going to use A for present, B for absent, and L for late. So instead of write, I can just write A, absent, P, present, P, present, P. So instead of doing this, I can do what we call drop down menu. So I can use a drop down menu so that I'll just click and select anyone that applies. So now, how do I use the drop down menu? Let's go there now. You click the cell that you want to put the drop down menu. Then you come here and click data. Then you move to validation. Is that okay? So I'm going to repeat that process so that you can get it very well. So how am I going to do that to bring in the drop down menu? I'll come here, I'll click the cell, come to data, come to validation, then I'll click add rule. So add rule, see, it has told me the attendance E2. So this attendance is the is the sheet that I'm working off. Then the E2 is the cell. So this cell is E, then 2. You can see E, then 2. So here I can put the first option. I'll put present. Then I want present to be green because present is positive. The second option, I can put late. And I want the late to be maybe light green or light blue. It depends on the choice of your color. Then I need absent. So I'm going to add another rule. So I want absent. So I'll make the absent to be red so that at a glance, I will be able to know that one of my students is missing out. So if you want to add more item, you can continue to add more item. But if you want to, maybe you want to use another tool, you want to use another option that you want to click more than, you want to do multiple selection. Maybe which one can I use as an example here? Maybe present but sick. You understand? All these are complex ones. They are not too common. So let's not just go into the complex one. Let's just do the simple one to lay the foundation. So from there now, I'm going to now click done. So I have clicked done. So if I come here, if I put present, you can see it's showing green. If I put late, it's showing L, blue. If I put absent, it's showing red. Now, another sweet thing about this is this. I don't have to be doing it for every cell, every cell, every cell. No, I don't have to do that. The one that I've done, I'll just come here. I'll hold this dot, this cursor here. I'll drag it down. Everything will be done for me. So you can see it has entered everything for me. So let me use let me just use empty space. Let me use empty space. Okay, let's say I have present here. Okay, then you just drag it down. Good. Then you can copy the whole of this and paste it here too. Or you come here and also drag it this way to the left. Let's see how it goes. You can see, also drag it to the left. Now, this thing I'm doing, this is one of the sweet thing about Excel. Okay, I have overdragged this one, so I have to remove it. So let me undo. You can see I have removed it. What I need to do now is I will just leave everything as empty. Okay, let me click empty. Okay, it's not bringing empty for me. Coming. Okay, I can add another rule to have the empty space. So if it is empty, it should be white. So let me click done. Can come here. Empty space should be white. Okay, it didn't add it for me. Let me see. Add space bar. Coming. It's not bringing any option for me. Okay, delete. Add another item. White. Let me just put a dot there. Okay, done. Apply all. So now I can come here. So I can reapply to show that this is the beginning of the class. So nobody have attended class yet. Yeah. So since nobody have attended the class, so this is the beginning of the session. So it's good that everything remain blank like this so that I won't get confused. So when it's time, I'll just come here, click present and on like that, present. So that is that. So any questions so far about using this drop-down menu? Any questions so far? Yes, I understand that the session is recorded. So but in case you have a question, try and ask question now. If there are no questions, you can just give me thumbs up, indicate so that we can move forward. Okay, Miss Joy, you have a question? Miss Joy, do you have a question?
No.
Okay, thank you. She has muted. So let's move forward now to the next point of call. So let's assume, let me fill in the whole of this. Let's say on the first day, everybody is present. Let me just fill present. Then let me just select few absent. Let me select few absent so that we can understand the benefit or the importance of some of these. Now, I understand that some of us in our school, we have this thing maybe on the school's website or school learning management system. Now, there's something we call back end. Like if you are using a particular tool, what is behind it? A lot of all these tools we use in our schools, this spreadsheet is what is behind them. When we enter our grade sheet and it calculates, this is what is behind the spreadsheet. So if you as a person understand what is behind the scene, so it's easy for you to use and navigate such systems. That's the point. So now you can see now if I have this, once I open this spreadsheet, immediately I will notice that Fatima Sule was absent for 2 days in a week. Then that is something I need to flag up immediately. But without this color, it may be difficult for me to see a absent or like that. I might have to strain my eyes to start searching for who is absent, who is not absent. But with this color coding, almost immediately, I will be able to identify those who are absent. And I can look at it both horizontally and vertically. So horizontally, I could see that Fatima Sule is not in school on 16th and 19. Now, if now comes to vertically, so if I click this day on the 18th, 2 students are not in school. So if it happens that about 30% of the students are not in school that day, or 40%, that means as a teacher, I know that, oh, I still have extra work to do. Maybe I have to find extra class or do an intervention session for some of the students, or maybe I'll have to reteach the topic because a good number of students were not around that day. And if I bring into the exam, you will get to hear, they did not teach us this one, they did not teach us this one, and things like that, like our students will always do. So this is one of the advantage of having a very good automation or automated system and color coding system. Now you will observe that if I scroll down, I am not seeing my table header again. Some of us who are using Google Sheets or Excel, we should understand this thing, that we scroll down, you cannot see the table header again. So that means if I scroll down, I may not be able to familiarize myself with the dates for each of the days. So how do I do it such that this table header will always be there no matter how much I scroll? This is what we are going to do. Just come to view. Can you see view? If you click on view, you now see freeze. So I want to freeze row 1. I want to freeze row 1. So if I freeze row 1, so it simply means that table header will permanently be there. So even if I scroll to any extent, assuming I have like 50 students, or I'm using the whole year group data. So if I scroll down to any length, my header will still be there. You can do the same thing for the side too. Look at, so to do for the side, also come to view, you come to freeze.
Hello, please, can you confirm if everyone can hear you?
Hello, is everybody hearing me, please? If you can hear me, please
Yes,
let
we
me
can hear
see.
you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. So now, so if you scroll down, you'll be able to see your header. You can also do it for any row. For example, I want both student ID and name to always show, no matter how much I scroll to my right. So I can come here and click view, then I'll click freeze, then I'll up to 2 columns. Up to 2 columns. So if I click up to 2 columns, so if I move this way, my student will always be showing. So as mean I have lots of data going this way, my student's name will continue to show. I'll be able to trace them easily. So for example, if I'm seeing only for on the 20th of April, I'll still be able to see it along with the student's name. So please, if you are getting something, please, okay, thank you very much. Before I even mention it, some of us are already responding. So if you are getting something, you can please let me know so that I'll be encouraged too. Thank you so much. So now, the next thing I would like to mention before I go is how we can apply formula. In this instance, the kind of formula we will apply is count. So instead of using your eyes to try and count, hey, okay, Fatima Sule, how many times are you present here? Okay, you are present 1, 2, 3. You now write 3 present. How many times are you absent here? You are absent 1, 2, 3, 3 absent. What is the percentage attendance? Instead of using your eye to do that, no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. The Excel has a formula that it can do for you. So now, in Google Sheets, anytime you want to use a formula, just go to where you want to apply the formula. Say, I want to calculate for Amina Yusuf. I want to count for Amina Yusuf. So let me add another count of present. Okay, let me put number of times present. Then I'll come here and put number of times absent. I can also come here and put number of times late. So you can do it for everything. So good. Let me also mention this quickly. You notice that number of times present is too long for this cell. and I don't want to expand the cell. If I want to expand the cell, I'll drag it this way for number of present to be. But if I don't want to expand it, I want to let it remain as simple as this. What I'm going to do is I'll do what we call text wrapping. Text wrapping. So I'll just come inside here, I'll click it, then I'll come to this point. This is where we have the text wrapping. So all these ones here, they are shortcuts. All these shortcuts are also fine under edit, format, and stuff like that. But these are the shortcuts. So I'll just come here, click text wrapping. I'll just wrap the text. You can see it has shown number of times present. I can do the same thing for number of times absent. Text wrapping. Click it. Number of times absent. Number of times late. Text wrapping. I also click it. So I'll leave it at that. So instead of dragging it, expanding the cell, but I want the cell to look well formatted for everything to be good, I'll just do it that way. Another thing I now observe, you see, after doing text wrapping, okay, let me cover this place with my green color again. So where's the green color we use? This is it, right? So you'll notice that after doing text wrapping for this one, let me also bold in this quickly so that it will align with what we have. So after doing text wrapping for this one, you notice that these places are not well aligned. So you can also align it center. So how do we align center? You click everything. That you want to align center. Also align it vertically. To align vertically, I'll click center too, or middle. You can see everything has taken shape now. So it looks smooth. Some of us that have good eye for aesthetics, we can manipulate it to make it so beautiful, whichever way we want it. So we can leave it at that. So now let's do count. Number of times present. So how do we do that? Remember I said if you want to use any formula in Google Sheet, you first click the cell. I want to check the number of times present here. I'll now click equals to. Then what do I want to do? I want to count. I want to count if. So I'll put count. It's not asking me from where to where. That's the range. So I want to count from this place, E2, to I2. Then I'll put comma. So what did I want to count? I want to count for P, which is present. So in computing generally and in coding, if you are communicating with computer using codes, computer will recognize text code and also recognize number code. So if you are talking to computer, if you are using number code, you don't have to put quotation mark. But if it's a text code, you must put quotation mark. So if computer wants to recognize text code, it requires quotation mark. But if you want to recognize number code, it doesn't need quotation mark. So for those of us who are into programming, we can understand that. We call that data type, string, number, and whatever name we call it. So I'll now put double quote, then I'll now put P, then I'll close my bracket. So it will count all the P's here. So let me press enter. You can see it has counted 5 P's. Now take note of something. What I said about IntelliSense. Who can tell me what has happened now? Somebody should unmute and tell us what is happening right now.
Yes, hello, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we are hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Yes, it has already sent the other cells, so it shows the number of presents for the other cells all together.
Thank
So
you.
it's meant for you just to
Thank you
drag
very
it
much.
down and have the piece. Thank you, and over.
Thank you very much. That's very brilliant. That's it. So immediately I entered that particular formula. It told me that, do I want to do it for other cells? Of course, autofill. I'll just click it. So it has counted all the presents there for me. Now, where is the automation here now? If I need to change anything, if I come here and change let's say absent, you can see what has happened. Automatically, it has adjusted. If I come here and put late, what has happened? Automatically, it has adjusted. So with this, you don't need to be using paper to cancel, to do this, to do that, and to do all sort of things. And another thing is this: once you have built this template, that is the final. If you want to do it for 2,000 classes, all you need to do is make a copy. So imagine you are teaching A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and you have to be writing out the names and be marking attendance, prints, and do all of it. No, all you need to do now is just do what? This one that you have set up, come to file. In fact, you don't even have to come to file. I can just come here and duplicate. That's duplicated it. All I need to do is, this is attendance, GSS1. I'll come here, attendance, GSS1B, GSS1A, GSS1C, and I'll duplicate and make for as many classes as possible. And that is what we're talking about, saving time. So in fact, for some schools that are still carrying registers, this Google Sheet can be built to fit in the register that we used to carry in our school and in the class. It will fit it 100%. All those calculations that we used to do at the end of the term, number of times school open, number of times school student present, number of times that this Excel, we do everything. All you need to do is just be marking. At the end of the term, they'll say, go and close the register. There's no register to close because the Google Sheet has closed it for you. So, school leaders, teachers, I want to encourage us. It's not easy to start with this, but if you start with it and you continually practice it, you get better at it. And before you know what is happening, all those stress that we used to face before, we will not face them again. It will be so easy and very, very comfortable for you to you now have more time. You have more time to read. Even when it comes to planning is not as difficult as before again, but that's not a topic for today. Let's remain focused on today's topic. So, did you say something quickly? Hello? Did I hear someone talk? Okay, let's move on. So, the same thing you need to do. So, if I come here, I want to check for number of time absent. I don't have to retype the formula. All I need to do is just copy the formula and paste here, or drag it as I'll do before. Drag the formula here. What do you notice? What I've noticed is that something has shifted. So let me do copy and paste so that I will not discuss something else again. So I've copied and pasted this formula. So you notice that this number of time present here is from E. This is E2. This is E, then 2. That's we call it row, vertical column, right? Horizontal row. Yes. So E2. So that is vertical E, then 2, the row. Then the next one is I2. So from E2 to I2. But if I copy it here now, it's not giving me from F to J. But I'm doing it from F to J. So I see it from E to I2. So if I want that to not to happen, then what we call cell referencing. So what I do, just edit this to what? Back to my E2, then back to my I2. So you can see it's still giving me the same thing, but that's not what I'm looking for. I want to check for absent. So I'll come here, edit my P to what? To A. So I'll press enter. I can see absent is now 1. So I can drag this down too. It will work. So anywhere there's no absent, it will give 0. Anywhere there's absent, it will put the value. So that is how we can go about it. So please, there's so many things, there's so much to do here, but I don't want to dwell much on this. my time is fast spent. I want to move on to the grading, which I know a lot of us are more interested in. But before I move on, any question?
What if, hello, can I ask a question?
Okay, please go on, Ms. Joy.
Okay, so what if you want to check the percentage of percentage of the students that are present, or percentage of the students that are absent for the whole
Okay,
term, or for the whole year? What do you do?
thank you very much. There's also a formula for that too. You can also put the formula. You see, this Google Sheet is like a calculator, but this type of calculator, you can write the formula, the things you want it to calculate. So because of this question that you have asked, let's move to gradebook. Gradebook will help us to answer that question. Are you okay with that?
Yes, go ahead.
Someone else raised their hand. Who is the person? Let's hear the person before we move on.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Femi.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Sam.
Yeah, the question I want to ask is, after duplicating this very copy, assuming you have created it for different subject areas and different teachers are taking this attendance, how do you share these copies to them real time?
Thank you very much. To do that, the exact thing I did with you now is the same thing you are going to do. So you come to share. When you come to share, add people, groups, spaces, calendar, all the people. So anybody you want to share with, you put their email here. Then you make them editor. You make them editor so that they will be able to put in whatever they need to put in. It's as simple as that.
Okay,
So
thank
have
you
I
very
answered your
much.
question?
Yeah,
You're
quite
welcome.
understood.
Thank you. Good. So let's move on to the next one, which is grade book. So we're still going to use the same data for grade book. I think I have something. Yes, I want to use this for grade book. Let me use this for grade book. So I want somebody to suggest in their school, how do you compute your results? So that we're going to use the person's school method. How do you compute your results? How many tests do you do? What is the value? What is the value of the test you do? Is it 20, 20, 20, 40, or how do we go about it? So who is helping us?
20, 20, 60.
Okay, that's for your school. So
Yes, yeah,
good.
2020 systems.
So T1, let's put it over 20. T2 over 20. Then exam, right? Exam over 60. Then let's put total over 100. Then you can decide to say you want to put percentage. Then you can decide to say you want to put grade, and so on and so forth. So depending on what you have as a school. So let's leave it at that. So good. So as usual, let's make the upper part beautiful and let's freeze it. Who can remind us, how do we freeze it so that if we are scrolling up and down, it remains the same? Where am I going to go to do that? Reminder.
You go to view.
Thank you, Miss
Go,
Joy.
Yeah, you
go
go
to
to
the
So
select the
then
select the role of interest
Yeah, I like to know first.
good.
and then click on this page.
Thank you very much. So if I want to do for the other one, for the others, I'll also go to what? Column, right? This one I want
Yes.
to, the reason why I'm clicking two columns is because I want both student ID and student name. But if I want only student ID, I'll click one column. But I want both student ID and student name, so I'll click two columns. Are we good? Yes, we are good, I guess. So now,
Yes.
let's now move on. So this is, the first test must be over 20. So let's say Amina Yusuf got 15 over 20. Then the second test, she got 20 over 20. In the exam, she got 56 over 100. So Amna Yusuf is a very smart child. So now, how do I calculate the over 100? Do I need to pick my calculator and begin to say 15 plus this plus that? No, I don't have to do that. In Google Sheet can do that for us. Sorry, I'm calling Excel so many times. Although Excel is one of my favorite tools too, but now because of my workplace, I have to get used to Google Sheets by force. So now, what we need to do is this. Just press. Who can remind me if I need to put formula in a sheet? What will I do? Okay, if it's
Equal
Nachi.
to click on the cell.
Good. So, if it's Nachi, you're asking a question.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, my brother.
Is there a way we can limit the value that can enter a particular cell?
Thank you very much. I'll come to that in a moment now.
Happen.
So that somebody will not mistakenly enter 25 under 20 when it's supposed to be about 20, right?
Yeah.
Very correct. So that's what we call data validation. I'll come to that in a moment now. So let's finish this one. So they have reminded me that I'm going to press equal to. So I've pressed equal to. You can do it in so many ways. Every of my seminar, I used to mention it. There are many ways of doing something with computing tool. Many ways. So you just choose the one that is convenient for you. Sorry, please, Ms. Joy, can you mute? I think you forgot to mute. Thank you. So many ways. So I can do like this. I can say equals to, I can say 15 plus 20 plus 50, and I'll press enter. That gives me 91. So that's a foundational way of doing it. You can see I said 15 plus 20 plus this, but that gave me 91. That's a foundational way of doing it. Another way you can do it is you can just press equal to. You can now press sum. So if you press sum, you can now come and you see value. You can now you see IntelliSense. It has sensed all those places. Then click enter. You can see it's the same thing. So either way is correct, but I would prefer to use sum. The reason why I would prefer to use sum is because if, for example, one of the child missed a test. If I use sum, if the child missed a test, it will skip that cell instead of adding it. It will skip it. So that's the advantage. It will skip it, especially when it comes to average. Okay, that's under average. If I'm doing average, it will skip it. If I'm doing sum, it's going to skip it too, but it will definitely indicate, it will definitely show, but that's more applicable under average. So now, based on the question, if it's not asked, let's talk about data validation. If I don't want, maybe I built this and I share it with everybody in my workplace, and I don't want anybody to make mistake of entering more than they ought to enter. Since the maximum mark for test 1 is 20, maybe somebody, a teacher who is so happy and excited and wants to give another student good extra mark, now want to put 22. What will I do so that the system will reject it? That's what we call data. That's validating the data. So what I'm going to do is I'll come to data. I'll come to validation. Can you see? And I'll click validation. Then I'll come and add the rule here. So if I click add rule, I'm not using drop down menu now. Let me see. I hope. Okay, I'm coming. Let me see data validation. No, I'm not using drop down control. So data. Yes, I should validate it. Coming. Validate. I want to add the rule. Okay, good. So the criteria, I'll come to criteria. So under the criteria, I will choose. You see, these are all the criteria possible. Text contains, text does not contain, text is exactly, text is valid email, text is valid URL. These are all the criteria. But this is what I need. I need number. It's number I want to use. So I'll come to this part, number. So I'll say that number should be, I can use
Less
greater
than or
than
equal
or
to, I
equal
guess.
to. Yes, I can use greater than or equal to. So if I say number is greater than or equal to, then I'll put the value 20. Now,
Or less than
show
rather.
help text for selected text. For example, now, if somebody enter 21 and I want the person,
I think it should be less than or equal to.
to see the warning in fresh so that it will load very well. Okay, good. It has loaded. You see, enter a number less than or equals to 20. Hope we saw that. So let it finish loading. Sorry, I didn't. Not patient enough. Let's see. Load quickly, please. So while I'm waiting for it to load, please, I don't want us to see this as something exceptional. I want to see it as what we can actually get used to and we can be very familiar to. So you can see when I enter 25, let me repeat it. 25. Still loading. Okay, 25. Enter. You can see it's rejecting it and it's telling me there was a problem. Enter a number less than 20. So I said it should not accept it. That's why it's rejecting it. So if I enter any number that is greater than 20, it will reject it. So we can do that for every. So in order to do the that has 20, that is over 20, we can do the validation for all the set that is over 20. So you come here, data validation. It's loading. My internet is a bit slower then. So then the rule, I want to apply the rule for okay, let me just add done, then add rule. Since I've selected a new page, so I'm adding rule, not drop down. Text number is less than or equals to 20, then I'll put 20 here, then I'll put show my, then reject input. It should not enter, it should not work. So everything, so all these cells now, they will reject any number that is more than 20. Let me put 21, see what happened. It rejected it immediately. So I have validated the data. You can also validate any value for anything you want to do. So far, so good. Any other question? Okay, if there are no questions, so let me populate all these numbers so that I can do the percentage and the other ones that we need to do. Let me just, okay, let me just get random number 12, 13, 14, 15, 9, 13, 14, 16, 7, 12. So let me just put random number so that I can just apply it and gain what we need to gain. So I'll also use it here. I'll copy the same number here because I want us to, you know. Yes, good. So for exam score, let's say 34, 44, 56, 23, 60. I didn't validate this one, but we can also use the same process to validate it. 40. Can I use the same process for validation? 23, 45, 55, 37, 56, 45, 35, 60, 45, 55, 54, 53. Okay, finally 45. So this is it now. So now, this one that we have entered the sum, we need to drag it down so that it will automate it for us. It will automate the addition for us. So that is it. So it has done it for us. So it has added everything for us immediately. You see, everything will just be going, adding for you without anything. So let me quickly show us conditional formatting. Let me show us conditional formatting. So in your school, you need to be tracking students per week or per 2 weeks. Because as a teacher, this is my own belief. I don't believe that we should wait till end of term before we now start to complain about a student to the parents. If my children's school are doing that, that is when I get to the school, they now say, first week, your child was not doing well and things like that. No. When we see that a child is not doing well consistently, we should flag it up immediately and call the parents in. It's my own personal belief, and I believe most schools also work that way. And that's why we have some schools have a system they call tracker. They track students behaviorally and academically. So this tool can help you form a tracker such that if you do weekly tests, at merely seeing the results at a glance, you'll be able to know a child that is struggling and a child that is doing well. So conditional formatting can help you achieve this. So in doing that, you can come to the first cell, or you can select all the 20s. So let's agree. Depending on how you grade in your school, some schools say from 15, if you score anything 15 to 20, that's a good mark. You can give it color green. If you score anything from, let's say, 14 to, let's say, 12, you can give it color, let's say, color orange. Then if you score 12 below, you can say that is not good at all. You can give it pink, or you just come up with, just be creative about how you want to do your thing. So in this situation now, let's see how we can color code the whole of this system. So let's start by selecting all the cells, or you can select one, then you copy and paste on it. So let me select one, so that I'm going to also teach us something different or another shortcut. So when you select this part, you come here to format. Under the format, you now go to conditional formatting. Conditional formatting. After clicking conditional formatting, you now come here to get the rules. So now, if cell is empty cell, I can say let the color be color gray. Let's give it light gray. If the cell is empty, I'll give it light gray. I'll click add another row. So that means if I have not entered a child's result, the cell for that child's cell will be gray. Then let's add another row. If a child, what is the rule now? If a child scores, let's go to between, this is for over 20. So let's say if a child score is between 15 and 20, it should show color green, very good green. So I'll put this green. You can see from 15 to 20 is already showing green. Then I'll come here and add another rule. This time around, if the score is between 14 and let's say, okay, let's just put 11 or 10 and 14. Let's not be too strict. It depends on your school system anyway. 10 and 14, I'll put orange. You can see it's changing to orange. Then let me add another rule. If a child score below less than 9, or less than 10. If a child score less than 10, anything less than 10 is danger. That child needs to be flagged. So I'll put this here. So I've changed something on the text. Let me put it back to black. Then come here, danger. Then I'll put done. So you can see now, if I open this sheet, immediately I will see that Fatima Sule and Joel Nwosu, I need to call them to order. They are not doing well. I need to mention it to my line manager or HOD that these two children, they didn't do well in my test. And even in class, they have not been doing well. Then the HOD needs to speak with them. So this is what we're talking about. Now, if you already have this rule, you don't have to be doing the rule again. And that's where automation is coming again. You can copy the rule and paste everywhere. So I can come here and copy. I'll select the row, the whole row, then I'll click copy. Then I'll come here and paste. So in pasting it, I'll right click, then I'll click paste special, and I'll click paste conditional formatting only. So I'll select. You can see the same thing has been pasted here. So that is how you go about it. Any questions so far on this conditional formatting? If you are still hearing me, if you are still following me, please, can you indicate using emoji? Thank you very much. So any other questions so far from anyone? Okay, no problem. So let's just continue. By God's grace, by tomorrow morning, hopefully the recording will be available so that if you want to practice more, and I'll leave the WhatsApp group open till the end of May. Till the end of this month, April. By the end of April, I'm going to close it. Although I am planning to do a bigger version where we are going to go more in depth, but of course that will not be free. All right, let's move on to the next one. So let's do the percentage. You can do the percentage in so many ways. You can write the formula. You can just press equals to. No, I'm not adding. You select the cell, you enter it, then you fill it, then you come here again and click on data. I'm coming. Yes. Format number, then you click percent. Okay, this is not working. That's not what I intend to do. So let's use the normal calculation. So you enter the value, click equals to, enter the value, divide by over 100. Still the same thing anyway. Mathematically, since it's over 100, there's no point putting in the percentage. So let's just leave the percentage. Mathematically, it doesn't make sense. This is over 100, then converting it to percent. Mathematically, that doesn't make sense. So let's move into the next and the final thing before we round up. So how do we automatically impute our grade? Depending on your school grading system. Because of our time, I'm just going to copy the grading system here. So let's copy this grading system here. So the grading system here is A, B, C, D, and F. Now, they use a formula, and that formula is called IFS. So I'm going to copy that formula now. Let me copy the formula, and I'll explain the formula to us in a moment. Okay. Where were we? Yes, I was using this. So now this is the grade. So let me paste the formula here. So look at this now. Let me increase the font so that I'll use the view to zoom to 125. Good. So now I should be able to see the formula this way now. The formula is ifs. There are two. There is if and there is ifs. Let me use if here for us. This is, okay, I've used if here for us. Let me reuse it again. Okay, this is if. Now, yeah, I said if, count if. Okay, no. Okay, count if. I want us to use if. Okay, let's just maintain the ifs anyways. So now, ifs is like, if something, if so, so, and so is this, do this. Then if you now put ifs, like you are bringing in plenty of those conditions, not just one. So for example now, if we are using if alone, you stop at this first condition. But because you are using ifs, you can use many conditions. So I'm now saying from, let me use this H. The cell I copy is I. So I can convert this to H, 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 and that's it. So you can see that it has worked for me here now, because it didn't work before because the cell is on I. Now, this is what it's saying. If H3, okay, let's start with H1, H2. If H2 is greater than or equals to AT, you write A for it. That's A. Then the second condition, if H2 is greater than or equals to 70, give it B. Then the third condition, if H2 is greater than or equals to 60, give it C. Then if H2 is greater than or equals to 50, give it D. Then true, you give it to F. Like if all these are true and there's no alternative, or all these are true and the other one is false, then you write F. So if all these are true, then the next thing that comes to play is F. So that is why this formula is this way. So now if you look at this now, for 96 is A, for 58 is D, for 70 is B, for this is this. You can also color code all these alphabets too. You can also color code this so that at a glance, you see a child that passed and a child that did not do well. And how do you do that? The same way we did for the first one is also the same way we are going to do for this one. So if we do it this way now, let's say data validation. You come to data validation. Then you come here, add rule, not drop down. We want to use text. So text is exactly A. If text is exactly A, you coming? No, I want us to, okay, sorry, I need to do is conditional formatting I want to do. So you come to conditional formatting. It's conditional formatting, format conditional formatting. So if text is exactly A, if text is exactly A, let it be green. Then add another rule. If text is exactly B, make it another shade of green. Let's say this shade of green. Then add another rule. If text is exactly C, then let's have orange. And finally, anything short of that, if text is exactly F, then give it red. Red down. And let's say done. So you can see. So if you check the results, there is, okay, we skip D. So let's give for D. Let's say pink for D. Conditional formatting, add another rule. So if text is exactly D, let's say something like this. Yes, done. So you can see this is it. It has been that's conditional formatting. So at a glance, you'll be able to see how your students are faring, and you'll be able to know how you can support them. So so far so good. This is where we this is how far we can go. Our time is fast spent. If we have question from anyone, please ask question now. Then I'm going to wrap up the session after this question. Like I said before, we cannot learn everything at once. This is just to ignite us ignite us to learning these tools, because these tools are actually very, very good and useful. I tell you, if you are very familiar with these tools and if you use these two phones, it will make you a different person, not just at workplace, because you become more organized. You'll be able to, some of us, we are so used to paper that at times we get to misplace the paper or keep looking for where did I write this, where did I write this. But if you are so used to all these tools, at a search can discover or get whatever you are looking for at once. Okay. Okay, is it Chiwu, right? You can
Good
unmute
evening,
and speak.
everyone. Yeah, good evening. Thank you so much for the section. Thank you so much.
You're
Yeah, my
welcome.
question is, now you've taught us this. Is there any like now you want to send this result to parents? How is it possible for us to send it if you don't have the website to print them for parents to log in to get results? Now that I've done it on the Excel, how do I now send this to parents? Do you understand my question, sir? Hello?
Okay.
Okay.
My network was fluctuating. I didn't get you very well.
Okay, all right, sorry. Good, thank you so much for the section. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate. I just want to ask that
You're welcome.
some schools have some websites where they send the links to parents and parents are able to check their results. Now, if I have done this on this Excel, how will I be able to send this sheet I have done to parents? Is there any way that you can send this to parents to see the results of the child after I've prepared it on the Excel sheet,
Okay.
on the sheet?
Okay. Thank you very much. So based on your question, primarily, this is for you and the school consumption. You can see the names there are the names of other students and the scores there are the scores of other students. So primarily, it is for you. However, the system, most schools have a different website where they enter the student final scores. Most schools have that. But I'm also aware that some schools also build their own around Google Sheets too, or Excel, as the case may be, where teachers enter their student score in Google Sheet. So this Google Sheet and Excel can also be used to prepare a student report card. I have done it before. There was a time a student was having issue with their result. So I just downloaded the school template and I use it to build the student result, downloaded the result, and sent to the parents. So this is depending on how advanced you are at using it, you can also build a student report using the Google Sheet. This time around, you have to download it and send to the parents or share the link separately with the parent for them to access it. But this one that we have built, this tracker for data security, it cannot be shared with parents except you have extracted their own child score out of it. They can share it with them. I don't know if I've been able to answer your question or you still need more clarification.
Yes, I understand. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other question? So I'm going to stop sharing to bring in my final points.
I have a question, please.
Okay, please ask quickly. Good evening.
My question is, at times, after you have done all this rigorous work, when you want to like print it and maybe attach to one or two documents, it requires another setting. Maybe there will be distortion. I don't know, maybe in subsequent time, maybe you can guide us on that so that the printing setting using the Google Sheet. Thank
Okay,
you,
the
sir.
printing settings, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes. The printing setting, for me, I used to download as PDF so that it won't scatter anywhere I need to use it again. That's what I used to do personally. So if I need to download anything from Google Sheet, if I download it, if I take it to, for example, I use Google Sheet, I download it, I take it to Excel, it will definitely scatter because they are not the same environment. So what I do is I download it, depending on what I want to use it for anyways, I download it as a Google PDF most times so that I'll be able to print it easily. That's what I do. So for those who have questions about how to save, thank you, Mr. Sam. Google Sheet saves automatically. You don't have to be pressing Ctrl S, Ctrl S. As you are using it, it is saving. Another thing is this: even if you mistakenly delete anything, you can recover it back. You can check your history and be able to retrieve any mistake. Maybe a lot of people are using it in the office and you have done an edit and somebody have tampered with it. You can go and check the history and restore it back. So that's a very big advantage for Google Sheets too. So if there's any mistake, it can be easily restored. Any other question before I round up?
Please, I have one question.
Please ask. Thank you.
All right, this is our first time of learning this, and it's not possible for us to get acquainted to it. So my question is there a way we can have the tutorial video so that we can practicalize on our own?
Yes, I'm going to share the video tomorrow. Hopefully, it's already recorded, so hopefully tomorrow it will be available, and I'm going to share it. And if you are really interested, I'll be organizing an advanced class. But like I mentioned, it's going to be a paid class because I'm going to do one-on-one tutor for people on it. So if you are interested, tomorrow or next, I'll also make the announcement. You may also explore that of avenue. It's actually a very good thing if you are interested. So thank you. I think I saw another question here. Okay, history. So this is the history. Let me show you the history quickly. Can you see it here?
Yeah.
So that's the history. I just put my cursor on it now. If I click here now, it will show all the version. So I have April 16, 755, April 16, 854. So that's the history. So you can show all version, name version, if there are different version. So you can show everything. So if you lose, maybe you work on it, I want to go back to how it used to be, you can just click. This is it again. Let me show you. You can see it like a work here, like a timer here. So you can just click it, and you'll be able to see last edited. I hope I've answered that question too. So my final point, let me stop sharing, or let me reshare, present something else. So we have talked about all these, we have talked about all these, we have talked about all these, we have talked about all these. So my final point is this. Another advantage is that you can collaborate, like somebody have asked. You can share with so many people and all of you can be working on it together. For example, you can build for the whole faculty and for each subject, and everybody will be inputting their scores, and the HOD can easily see whatever is doing. Then you can protect the formula so that nobody will be able to edit it. You can protect it too. Then you can also be adding comments so that any other person that wants to use it will know what to do, and you can reuse it at any day, at any time. So it's actually of great advantage. So instead of repeating some of these tasks, just one and you are good to go any day, anytime. So common mistakes and how you can avoid them. Typing dates. You should use the right format when you are typing your dates, just like we did now. I can also validate it using the same data validation. Then inconsistent status. Instead of typing present, absent, you use the data validation, the drop-down menu, so that you can be consistent with whatever you are writing. Then don't overwrite formulas. You just use simple formula. Some people are so good and so that they want to load Excel with so many formula. No, you don't have to do that. Just use some simple formula. Then just be consistent with the template. And I think that will be all for today. So any other question is 9:04. If there are no other question,
waiting for the video.
No problem. I'll share the video. So let's call it a night. So you can wave good night. Thank you very much everyone for attending the session. All right. Okay, somebody still want to talk? Okay, you can speak if you need to talk. Yes, please speak. Someone is raising their hand. If you need to talk, please talk. Greenland something something. Are you waving or you are raising your hand? Okay, I think the person is waving. So if there's any other question, you can drop the question in the WhatsApp group. Any question you have, drop it in the WhatsApp group. By God's grace, I'll close the WhatsApp group by the end of April so that I don't like consuming people's space. Thank you and have a good night. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you very much.
We appreciate you
Thank
for
you,
the
sir.
fantastic lesson. Mr. Abiodun, God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you, sir. Hoping to join the page